All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. In this video, we're going to talk about the welterweight division, specifically asking the question, is Terence Crawford overrated? A great fighter, but overrated. That's what a boxing expert has recently said in the lead-in to the Errol Spence Jr. Terence Crawford fight. Let's talk about what he said and break it down in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. We are in the welterweight division. Biggest thing that there is going on in boxing, man, and something that is really captivating the minds of a lot of people. Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. looks like that fight can be made. Hopefully, we will be getting an announcement soon or get some sense of how the negotiations between the two are going. But all kind of boxing experts are out there commenting on the fight, talking about the fight, breaking the fight down. You can throw a rock out the window and hit somebody in the head that got an opinion about that fight. Well, there was a fight, an opinion that was recently given on one of my favorite channels, YSM Sports Media, and a commentator on that channel talked about Terence Crawford and basically said that he is overrated, but not overrated at the same time, and picked Errol Spence to win. And I was like, wow, that is really, really interesting. What is he talking about? But before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are not a subscriber to the channel, please accept my invitation to subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. We do live streams pretty much every day, videos pretty much every day. Love to talk boxing around here. Don't always get it right, or we don't always have to agree, but it's always a really good boxing conversation to have, provided people are just, you don't get out of hand and don't get too rude. But leave your comment in the comment section if you have joined the community by subscribing. Would love to talk to you about this subject. So let's get into this. Terence Crawford is one of the best fighters in the world. I have him as my #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. And I think that, and the reason that I have him there is because when you look at the scoring criteria of boxing, which is clean and effective punching, effective aggression, defense, and ring generalship, I say that he has the best balance of all of those things. My #1B guy right now is Errol Spence Jr. because Errol Spence Jr. is also very, very well-rounded and has all of the different aspects that I talked about, just mentioned related to Terence Crawford: the defense, the ring generalship, the effective aggression, and the clean, effective punching. He has all that. And then he has something that I think is very, very difficult for people to appreciate, and you only see it when it shows up, and that is heart and determination. Errol Spence Jr. is somebody that has that intangible thing called that my Spanish-speaking friends call cojones. He is going to be at you, going at your throat. He has a no-quit attitude. You can hit him, he's still going to keep coming. Just a very, very calm person at a time, calculating person, but at the same time, just that rare breed of fighter that the word animal, beast, savage, that really, really does apply to. So on top of the things, that well-roundedness that he has in the sport of boxing, in all of the different scoring criteria of boxing, he also has that heart and that determination and that just go get him attitude. And anybody that can overcome, first of all, fighting that type of style, but secondly, overcome the major health issues and challenges that he's had in his life and come out of it looking better than he did when he went into it, got to take my hat off to that. Now, as far as what was said about Terence Crawford being overrated and not overrated at the same time, I thought it was an absolutely spot-on analysis. And what the man was specifically speaking of was ring IQ. And saying, look, when you fight Errol is just chug, 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 come forward, put this, well, he'll take step back, he'll make different adjustments, but he's attacking you, and it's just consistent. Boom, 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 right? And he said one of the things that Terence Crawford, that people point to about Terence Crawford to say how he would overcome Errol Spence Jr. is they talk about his ring IQ. And so the point of view that Dawad Bey gave was that, yes, he's a very intelligent fighter, but he's not Floyd Mayweather Jr. He does not fight anywhere close to the style that Floyd Mayweather Jr. fights, where if you are coming at him, Floyd can stay there in front of you and he can slip your shots, make you walk into shots. He knows the shots that you're going to throw beforehand. He has those combinations and he has all that stuff where he can react just like that. And he said that is not how Terence Crawford fights. If you see how Terence Crawford fights, Terence Crawford will try to figure you out in the beginning of rounds, but he's going to fight. That's that dude's personality, is that if you start a fight with him, he's going to get in there and he's going to fight you back. He's not somebody that is really a cool, calculating type. Well, I mean, he is cool and he is calculating, but when push comes to shove, he's going to push and shove. He's going to fight. The same thing that Errol Spence Jr. said about Yordenis Ugas. He's like, yeah, Yordenis Ugas, I'm sure what he's going to do is he's going to come out there and he's going to try to be calculating. He's going to try to execute his game plan and do the different things, that his coach Salas asked him to do. But when it comes down to that fight, he's going to start fighting. When I get in there and I get in his chest, he's going to start fighting. And once he starts fighting, and we got that war going on, that's when I'm going to break him down and I'm going to get him out of there. Right? And that's what Errol Spence. Now, that, in my opinion, is also an aspect of ring IQ. Terence Crawford is the same type of guy, man, where Terence Crawford is going to fight you. Terence Crawford is not a type of guy that is going to take a shot and back off, or be in that type of situation. He's going to, if you are in his chest, throwing shots at him and consistently hitting him and trying to be aggressive with him, Terence Crawford is going to get aggressive with you back, because that's Terence Crawford's personality, man. And when you are in a fight, or when you're doing a lot of different things, man, and I'll say this, even if you're like on a YouTube channel and you're having like debates and whatever, dude, if people push certain buttons, your real personality is going to come out. You are like, for example, at least verbally, I'm an aggressive guy. If you push me, I'm going to push back, and it's going to be very difficult for me to overcome that, right? Or to prevent myself from doing that, unless you are just really have your wits about you. That's your instinct to do it. When push comes to shove, you get in a situation where your personality is going to come out, right? So in one breath, where he's saying, look, man, Terence Crawford is everything that everybody says about him, man, and I agree 100%. He's everything everybody says about him. However, the idea that he is somebody that is going to be like a Floyd Mayweather Jr., that is going to really, really, really outthink you in a boxing ring over a long period of time, especially in the storm of a fight, I don't believe it. I think when people are polite, like if Terence has a cordial relationship with you, then he will go about that fight like it's business, right? But if you get in his chest, you start talking to him, you try to not going to say necessarily embarrass him, but if you try to get aggressive with him, Terence Crawford he is froggy. He is a guy that is going to get in your chest and he's going to want to fight you and he's going to want to beat you up, and it's going to become personal for him, man. And that very well could feed into, and most likely will feed into, Errol Spence Jr.'s game plan. So, where I don't think anybody could rightfully say that, in the sense that where people say Terence Crawford is one of the best fighters in the world, or he's the best fighter in the world, that he's overrated. I do think that it is reasonable to be like, look, if you're talking about like the concept of ring IQ and you're using it in the sense of a Floyd Mayweather Jr. type of situation, that's not how that is not how Terence Crawford gets down. There isn't anybody really, and this is what Dawad said in it, and I thought it was a great point. There isn't a lot of people in boxing that are like Floyd right now that fight like that, or have that type of ring foresight or ability to kind of manipulate any type of situation, right? Like you can't force Floyd into a firefight if Floyd don't want to get into a firefight, no matter what you say. He can be aggressive with you, all of that stuff, but when he gets in that ring, he's going to break you down. It is going to be a non-emotional thing for him. He's going to get you up out of there, whether it's a knockout or whether it's a decision, doesn't matter. He's going to get that win and walk off, and he's going to figure out a way to completely get rid of the thing that you do well and push on. Where Terence is a lot more willing and a lot more willing to exchange with you and try to hurt you and get you out of there. He's a lot more likely to take one, to get into a take one, give one with somebody than Floyd Mayweather Jr. is. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. And forgive me for not saying Duwad's name earlier in the video. I had to take a quick break because I was like, man, let me get this man's name out here, man, because I really thought that was a really great breakdown. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.